busy. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Milk was not on the list. No. I'll take care of it later. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. All right, so let's. Ark, how you been, man? Is your computer fixed? Thank goodness.
No, it's broke. Yes, it's fixed.
I know. It's just messing with you. Kind of we missed you, man. I know we were supposed to do. I guess you were supposed to do an episode of TV Memories, and fortunately that didn't happen. I tried calling you. I was worried about you, man.
well, this happens every now and then. Ark will have issues with his computer, and he's out for a week, and he's back for a while, and then it'll
Yeah, that
happen.
is true there. So it shouldn't really complain. So I'm not too angry about it.
Well, I have actually I have three computers,
Oh,
but two of them don't do Skype well,
I
and
see
the
there.
third one does, so I have to depend on the third one.
I see there. Have you ever downloaded Skype on those other computers there?
Well, I have it on the one. The other one, I deliberately have a very old version of Windows on there because that's the only way I can play some of my old games if I want
I
to.
see.
And then the other one, I have Skype on it, but I can't seem to get a set of headphones and mic to work with it.
I see there. So it's kind of one
So
of those difficult type of computers.
and well, it's not really that so much. I use it also for if I need to look things up. It's kind of in the background and I can look things up.
All right.
And then this computer is my basic Skype one, I suppose.
So this is the main computer that you often use to do the shows, like?
Yeah, it's not my main computer, though, I'll tell you that.
I see there. Because
My main computer is the other one that I honestly wish I could get Skype to do it, but it's okay. I ain't worried about it.
Yeah, it's okay there. All right. So,
Now?
what's up? What up,
Are you
YR?
Are you live now, or?
Yes, we are. We've been live for the past couple minutes here. Yep.
And then that news thing I sent you, right?
Yeah, you said something about Alice Cooper. What's he saying? Let me look it up on the
Yeah, news out of
Google
the way.
search here.
Did not come into the M72 World Tour.
Mm-hmm.
For the people here, 'cause I already filled in Ark about the Smashing Pumpkins. And Brown, you can tell Ark I was pretty flabbergasted and amazed
Yep.
with Smashing Pumpkins, but this Metallica thing just totally was the greatest event, greatest concert.
Alice Cooper, transgender. Okay.
The Metallica thing was just the greatest thing.
Yeah, I know. You were big. You were way happy over that there.
Cried, well, when you get tears of joy, just you can't believe just a lot of emotions in it. But all positive, nothing negative or nothing like that. But
it was all good.
And when and looking back at a lot of those videos, like I wish I would have sung along to a lot of those, but I'm just so kind of in a state of shock almost. But taking it all in because it's just so. The sound was just
top
amazing.
Notch.
Oh my God. For being in the stadium, it was. Have y'all ever seen Metallica live?
I have never seen Metallica ever whatsoever.
So it's the type of deal where, it's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be top notch. If it's your first time, like I was, right?
Yes.
But it was way, way, way over past my expectations, which weren't necessarily high or low, but I knew it was going to be top notch because they're one of the best bands, if not the best. They're one of the biggest bands.
They are, yes.
And live, 100% live too. But it just totally passed my. I didn't really have expectations. I already knew I wasn't expecting but it was much more greater than I thought it was. It really. Oh my God, guys.
Wow, man.
I recorded everything. And I had one little technical issue during the one damn song I wanted, which was one of my favorites. It's a cover, Whiskey in the Jar. I really wanted to get that.
Yeah.
I got 2 minutes of it at least, but I was having some, I guess I didn't hit record. And so, but every other song I got, from open to the finish, which is pretty much everything you want to hear. Now, they didn't play Memory Remains. They did not play any of the Unforgivens.
Oh
But
wow.
other than that, I mean, they had Whiplash in there, guys. They
Oh yeah.
opened the second
Nice.
night with They opened the second night with Whiplash. They opened the
Mm.
first night with Creeping Death, guys. I mean, this, you know what I'm saying? And look, we looking at both of the set lists, they were pretty even because we were expecting more Sunday and maybe Memory Remains, maybe some Unforgiven, like some more Black Album stuff. But it was fine. Like they played Sad But True, they played Wherever I May Roam Sunday. Like they everything that you wanted to hear. I mean, they played a couple of instrumental ones, like
Mm.
older instrumental ones. Ride the
Orion.
Lightning, yeah, Orion, Ride the Lightning. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yes.
the place smelled like Tony from Revere's podcasting station smelled like a pound of weed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in this place, but full of people. Imagine so like the stage, right? Like when we first walked in there, I was expecting like the stage and everything to be far away, like in the middle, like a big old football field, and
Yes.
it was so close. Like I don't know, I guess it's just Cowboy Stadium. Like every seat in there is a good seat, and it's like a bowl, and so they're surrounded with seats, and the circle stage pretty much. It was in the middle, but like it reached from each end of the field, like not where the the sidelines, not the end zone, not the long part of the field, but the sidelines. It was about the width of that. So that's a pretty damn big circle stage. I was expecting it just to be like a smaller, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot bigger stage and those big screen towers, a lot closer to the seats and a lot bigger than or closer to you than it would look in a picture and stuff. Like the pictures and videos don't do it any justice. Like the sound is pretty much the best thing out of all the videos. I had to zoom in a little bit there, but it's the best you can get. Um, but like it started filling up. It's still daytime. They obviously had, Wolfgang Van Halen open there first
Ah,
night.
that's nice.
Great, great, great. I mean, I don't know any songs, but threw one up there. I think the opening song.
Right.
Then Pantera came on, guys.
Yeah. How is Pantera? Because
Oh,
it is interesting. Seeing.
that blew that blew my mind. Like it was Phil Insomnia's voice, Dr. Brown and Art. It's so
Yes,
great.
it was.
It's so amazing. Oh my God, it's live, 100% live. You got Charlie Benani on drums, the kick drum, and you can hear it in all those videos. I uploaded the full Pantera concert as well. You can hear it. I mean, I was going crazy over the kick drum. That thing was so loud. It sounded like Vinnie Paul for real playing. I mean, he had like I don't know if there's tones for drums. I don't know if that's a thing, but it sounded like Vinnie Paul was on the drum there.
Yeah.
He always
So.
had that sound. Um, Obviously, and that was really like on the sound part of it. It was a little bassy. You kind of like anything. If you know the words, it's not that bad, but you
Yep.
kind of get lost if you don't know the words a little bit. Um, Yeah, Phil's voice was great. Obviously, Zach on guitar was great, but definitely there's more vocal and kick drum out of the sound than guitar and bass from Rex there.
Yeah.
But I'm not shitting on it at all. It was great, 100%. I mean, I'm not like it is what it is. Like when you're not headlining your own show, the sound, that you're using the headliner sound guys pretty much is
Mm-hmm.
what usually happens. So like Metallica's something to that effect, or Pantera's not using their shit they bring or whatever. So it works out that way. It's not just like the Pumpkins, like the Rival Sons and the other guy, that other group, Interpol. The sound was a little bassy and the vocals were a little light. You could hear more guitar than vocals. But when Pumpkins came on, it was like you're playing the damn CD. It was so clear. It was so. Oh, that Pumpkin show was great, guys. And I was pretty high on that last week, Brian. I was really giving them the kudos. But this Metallica thing blew anything, any event, any WrestleMania I ever went to, any music thing I ever went to away. Like being front row and Kiss 10 years ago.
Or
Um,
Judas Priest, or you and I.
that That's a different pond now. That's a whole different deal. I'm not comparing those. I never will compare those two because that's a different thing.
Yeah.
And But if you have to be like, I mean, even you, if you just went to Metallica, you would be like, oh my god, it really. It's not just like going to a concert. It's not. I mean, they really, really kick
It's an
ass. It's
event for
great.
shizzle. It's an event and an adventure.
Let's do this way. I stood in line for. I mean, lines for the merchandise, which they had like 4 different tables, were standing out of the door pretty much
Mm.
of the arena. So the first night, we stood and waited. Maybe the line was moving, maybe a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes at most, if that. So I bought I bought a Pantera tour shirt, the Legacy for the
Nice.
brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got a gray Metallica tour shirt. I wanted something different. It was gray, but then what I'm saying, I'm like, damn it, I want to get more shirts. So like, well, that happened after the concert. They blew me away on the first night. I was like, all right. So when we came back Sunday, I bought 3 more shirts or 2 more shirts. Pretty much spent like $200. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? I mean, limited
On
edition
shirts
brown.
alone?
Yes.
Wow.
They're
How
$12 a
much is
piece.
it? How is it? How much is it a piece?
55. And I took a video of
Mm.
the merch table on the channel, guys. Y'all just scroll
Right.
down the
Mm-hmm.
merch table on the first night with all the Pantera Metallica stuff, and
Right.
everything that I saw, y'all will see because I'm uploading all. It should be all up on there, pretty
Mm.
much. For
Yes.
both nights, full videos. The full video of the Pantera show. The one Wolfgang song, Fine Figure Death Punch. Guys, they were there Sunday
Oh wow,
unopened.
interesting.
Good. They're a big military supporting group, and I think they did. They're a big 2000s band, but I think they did some stuff with WWE, if I'm not mistaken. I
Probably
think
the
they did a
theme song
song.
for one of the wrestlers, I guess.
I think it was one of the wrestlers in one of the shows, like Raw, or I don't know, because I know Nickelback did it, but like there was a time when WWE was using like real band's music, like when Undertaker was on the bike, like 2001, 2002, 2003 type era,
The
2004,
American
like
Badass. He
when
Yeah,
had Limp Bizkit.
had like all the WWE,
yeah.
like
Because
the
I remember
original.
they were using the Drowning Pool song. I forgot the name of it. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Yes,
Yeah.
as well as. Let's also not forget Disturbed's song. I guess is called "Glass Shattered," which was done for Stone Cold Steve Austin around the 2000s era. There.
Look up that M72 tour. If are they going to be in Florida? Because I know they're going to be doing like Boston, and a bunch of other cities in 2024. They're
Let me look
extending
it
the
up
tour.
right now as we speak these words.
Because
But
what ended up happening was, like around I got the tickets like in November or whenever they went on sale right before Christmas. They announced this tour, and so I ended up paying. It was not the nosebleeds. It was like the middle, pretty much the middle section of the arena, which was freaking awesome. We're right above like the floor and everything. I mean, awesome, best view in my opinion. But any seat in
Kind of
that
a balcony
arena,
type thing.
no,
Are you
I
talking
wasn't.
AT&T?
Yeah, but kind of not even in the balcony. It was just the lower bowl area. Like there's lower bowl seats, but like right
Oh yeah,
above
it's
that.
not really a balcony. Yeah, because I've been there. In fact, saw. I was in that area when I saw Eric Clapton.
Yeah, it's nice over
I
there.
was in that area.
But like, so
And
I didn't
when I
get.
saw the Who.
Yeah, they played there too. I didn't see. I didn't. So like, yeah. So like, when I got them, I got the 2-day pass for Friday and Sunday Brown,
cool,
and which
nice.
was close
Well,
to $400 with taxes and everything. I think they were trying to do it for like the 350, and then for 2 nights in Metallica, that's not bad. If you split it down the middle, that's like between 160 and 200 a piece.
Nice.
For both, and it's not like we're paying for nosebleeds because they were like they're in the middle, great seats,
Yeah.
and so like the day of though, nosebleed seats dropped to like 60, but there was one or two or three or maybe a half a row or not every seat was taken, so people could like go down lower if they want, but it was packed, like visually. The whole floor for that first night with Pantera and everything ended up being, just imagine. a football field, a professional football field,
Hmm.
and imagine a huge circle stage right in the middle that extends to each sideline, so that wide, and maybe to one 40-yard line to the other 40-yard line, north and south, and then the rest of the field is full of people. I mean, it was the most majestic. And I mean, I've been to WrestleMania in the Astrodome, WrestleMania 17. And, so seeing a bunch of people like that, going to the rodeos there in the Astrodome. So seeing a lot of being in crowds isn't like a new to me. But this was just so great. And
Is the
look, it
Astrodome
was,
still open? Is
it
the
is closed
Astrodome still
down.
open, or did it get tore down?
Not still,
But
it's
it's
not
still
open.
standing.
Still standing. It's like a historical monument now, so they can't
You
do it.
cannot turn it, destroy it.
Trying to build it like some type of thing where it can be used, but that's been talked about for like 20 years. So yeah, it's still there. I mean, and this, let me tell you something, guys. I wanted to get fucking drunk and stuff, but I mean, everything there is way too much money. I mean, a hot dog is $6, which is not that
Are you
bad.
serious?
That bad, guys, because the frank is pretty thick, the big
Damn.
frank. I mean, it is what it is, right? The $6 hot dog, but like sodas for $9, and it's not a free
What?
refill. No free
Uh,
refills either. At
are we?
AAC
Are
at
we?
these
Are we?
hockey games,
Are we
at the hockey
talking?
games at
Sorry. Go ahead.
well, real quick at the AAC at the hockey games and the professional basketball games, it's like I think it's $11 or $12, but you get free refills all night.
Mm.
This $9 soda shit at AT Jerry Jones is making so much money. And look, the alcohol, $20 margaritas, guys.
What?
Wow. A little
Wow.
bit too much. That's fine. I mean, I know it's Metallica. You get drunk, blah blah blah. I snuck in me a little Jim Beam thing. You get the little. They have 7 Up products, Pepsi products. So I got the 7 Up, mix it with the Jim Beam, the $4 Jim Beam I bought,
Wow.
and sip on it, call it a day. You know what I mean? Have a little water, everything's fine. But I mean, the beer shit. 'Cause I would love to drink 2 or 3 beers, but I hate going to the bathroom and missing. I said I'm not gonna miss shit. I'm not gonna miss that. I'm not. I'm. What I'm saying absolutely not. So when you drink beer, you have to go to the bathroom and stuff more. It
That's
sucks.
true.
So
Yeah.
you know, I moderately sip on the Jim Beam with the 7 Up. Everything was fine. Lot of and look, we love all people here. I love all people, races, colors,
Mm-hmm.
genders. But there was a lot of older Mexicans there, guys. A lot of
Really?
like Mexicans with their wives. Yeah, like 50-year-old and up Mexicans with their wives. Like cool. A lot of people from Houston. A lot of Houston
Yeah.
because
Nice.
this is the only show they're doing in Texas, the Dallas one. So I mean, there's a lot of Houston Mexicans, a lot of just regular Houstonian people. With Astros hats on. That's how I can tell. And then I talked to quite a few people. A lot of father and sons, a lot of families, a mix. But definitely it stood out the Hispanic. Metallica has a huge Hispanic following. I don't know if that's because of the
The
bass
bass
player
player.
and
Yes.
obviously Kirk Hammett, isn't he Spanish or
I think he may or may not be. I'm not too sure about his
Spanish?
nationality, but
I'll check that out. But uh, I mean his time. I mean, look when so Pantera was great. That was
yeah.
something that you had to go into the going to the cemetery and everything. And when we pulled up, there was a lot of people there. There's probably 20 people at that gravesite when we pulled up. It's very
Yeah.
easy to find. You can just type
Yeah, I
in
wanted to
Dimebag.
check that place out before I left, but unfortunately, I never got a chance to. I wanted to, I'm not that much
Oh,
of a drinker, but I wanted to get me some JD, Jack Daniels, drink a little bit, and raise it up a toast to these guys for giving for bringing Texas metal out to the mainstream. That was my original intent, but sadly, I never got a chance to check it out.
looks like shit song like that's not the real Pantera or it's not Pantera without blah blah blah. Well, look at this point in 2023, Pantera and Dime's family and the Abbott family have within the past whenever they started as this I call it Pantera 2.0. Um, Whenever they started doing these South American shows, the Abbott family is set for life. They're getting millions. I
They
mean,
are.
Pantera's making more money now doing this tour thing and everything than I think they ever have before. Really, like if you think about it, like especially this Metallica tour, them with all the merchandise and 80,000 people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, everyone had Pantera. I mean, there was like 3 or 4 different Pantera shirts to choose from for $45.
Mm.
I got one with my Metallica. So you know how many people probably bought a Metallica and a Pantera shirt? A
I'm not
lot. Like they're
surprised.
making so much merch. They're obviously they did a show in Cynthia Woods. They did a Austin show like the day after.
Mm.
They're doing like their little headlining. Pantera's doing shows with Lamb of God opening for them. They're doing their headlining shows.
Mm. They
But
played Cynthia
let me
Woods, you
read out.
said?
They're doing their own headlining shows.
Right.
Pantera Brown. But let
Nice.
me read
Yeah.
out
Go ahead.
the set list for Pantera that was there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all right, so basically they had like this video montage. You know how like Dimebag used to do the home videos and everything? He's
Yes, I
like the Dime
remember
video.
them. Yes.
They came out. They played regular people, just on a tape there, showing the video package, and then they do like the silhouette of Diamond, Vinnie Paul, which is nice, and then they start the set with a New Level
Mm-hmm.
song, Mouth for War, Strength Beyond Strength,
Mm-hmm.
Becoming, Unbroken. And then they do like a Cemetery Gates, another like you call it a
Yes.
break, but they don't play
Little hot.
Cemetery Break. They just play it over like the video package again
Yes, I
because they
remember
want to.
seeing that at some of the South American shows on YouTube there.
And they do 5 Minutes Alone, This Love, Fucking Hostile, Walk, Nomination Hollow, Cowboys from Hell. So 11 songs there, about
Yeah,
an hour
nice.
set.
Yeah. See,
And
I'm
everyone
surprised they
I mean,
didn't do a Planet Caravan after that Cemetery Gates video tribute.
yeah, they're supposed to is usually on set list, but they so imagine like a round stage, and then there's people in the
Yes.
middle, about
The Snake Pit.
probably about at least a couple thousand people in the middle there,
Yep, that
like
is referred to the Snake Pit.
the snake pit guys.
Yes.
And but there was probably like 8 or 10 mini mosh pits going around on the outside.
No surprise.
Nothing, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't that close. And trust me, guys, I was trying to get on the floor really bad. There was no upgrades available anywhere. There's no tipping Tyrone, slipping him the 20 to give you the armband to get on the floor. There's just, there's too many people. Like they didn't have upgrade options available. There was rumors, or Eddie Truck was talking about that for the New Jersey show, Giant Stadium, that people were, you get in last minute, you get a seat for the 50, actually it went load to the 30 for one night. You get in for the 30, and then they were upgrading people on the floor for the 10. So I was kind of hoping that for this, but it was, we didn't see that anywhere. They didn't have anything like that. So I mean, we're in our regular seats, which is fine. I mean, we still have the good view, and everything. But the Pantera show was great, guys. It's really hard to explain unless you're there yourself. I mean, this was the greatest thing I've ever witnessed. So let me quickly here. We go over the Metallica set list and get your
Mm-hmm.
opinions on that.
Okay.
Uh, which, if I really can't pick which night was better. I know the sound, and you can hear it on the videos. The sound from the second night is like fucking scary good. I don't know what they did. I don't know. I mean, the sound was great Friday for Metallica,
Mm.
but like for instance, one song that sticks out, "The Day That Never Comes."
Mm.
When you listen to that on my channel, I mean, they really just, I mean, they hit every song like that, but somehow, I don't know, like that one really sounded great.
That
Really
was your
sounded great.
favorite out of the first set, correct?
I liked a lot, Brown. I liked it, like they, your Sad But Trues, or I mean, they played a lot of all their new songs sounded really good. So like
Mm.
the first song where they play, it's along they on a CD or on they play the song. It's a
Hmm.
long way to the top if you want to rock and roll to get you
Yes,
warmed
that was
up.
the introduction. I think they also played some priests before they went on stage, I guess, because I know you would sing
Yeah,
along. Yeah,
you got you got that.
yeah, I saw that, man. It was like, I think they were playing "Delivering the Goods." I take it.
Played delivered, and anytime I hear Priest, I always let Brown know. Wherever it's at stuff.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yes, exactly.
they played stuff like that, good mix. Just over the speakers, but
Mm-hmm.
so they open up the first night, guys, with Creeping Death.
Hmm.
Incredible. They go into number 2 song, Harvester of Sorrow.
Hmm.
Number 3 song, Leper Messiah.
Oh yeah,
Number
great
4,
song.
King Knight. Number 5 and number 6, they do 2 new songs, Lux Eterna and Too Far Gone.
Hmm.
Then number 7, Welcome Home Sanitarium.
Nice.
Amazing. Number 8, new song, Shadows Follow. And then number 9, Orion. Um, good song.
Orion.
Orion. Number 10,
Yeah.
guys, Nothing Else Matters.
Hmm.
Um, and look, all these songs, Sad But True, we've heard them a million times, but live, guys, oh my
Hmm.
God. The Day That Never Comes for number 12, Hardwire for number 13, Fuel for number 14, and then Seek and Destroy and Master of Puppets for the last song. So 16 songs. And this was streamed live in movie theaters.
Yeah.
So for the second night,
So these concerts was so the concert you went to was streamed live on selected theaters across the nation.
yes.
Ah, interesting. Very, very interesting. You were at a historic moment right there, folks.
So it might be a DVD later on or recorded for something later because it was, well, I'll tell you this right now. I got 2 videos taken down for
Hmm.
quote unquote copyright. It was the
Oh,
day that was Day That Never Comes and Nothing Else Matters because I think I on the screens, they had like uh, 8 towers at least with the
yes.
speakers on about 100 speakers,
Yes.
like 900 speakers, and then they had the video screens on them. And I think what was shown on that, some of that was actually shown in the movie,
Mm.
and because YouTube won't retract the strike, it's a warning strike.
Mm.
But the video is taken down, and the company that produced and directed that special, if you want to call it the theater special,
Yeah.
did the copyright. So it's making sense. I'm thinking, all right, it's the screen thing. So I went back on a lot and blurred it out. No issues so far yet, but I got the videos. At the end of the day, so it's fine. And it's always going to be up there, obviously. Like I can upload if one video gets taken down, I can obviously have it already on private. Like I can upload doubles, and just in case or whatever. But that's the problem. It was, I think, which is silly. They need if they want to go legal, and I put in all my information. Let's go legal then. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because
Yes.
the ticket I paid for, I'm allowed to film inside the damn stadium of the concert. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they're the ones that's gonna look stupid. They're the ones talking legal shit or whatever. So at the end of the day, look, um, if you just haven't gone to see Metallica, it's gonna be good, but it's really just a great go out of your way to see them if they come. I mean, I'll always try to see them now, just like Priest. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of these groups I would see again, even Ace, for Christ's sake.
Mm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just a frugal. I mean, I know how to get these tickets for cheap. I know, you wait the day of, or if there's upgrades available, or, you know what I'm saying? I try not to spend a lot of money. I mean, but I would on certain shows. I'll spend the 300 or 400. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind that because I don't know. Metallica's hard to beat live. Like Iron Maiden does their thing live. I know they sound super great live too. Brown Iron Maiden.
Yes. Absolutely.
The Metallica following. I mean, the people there. There was so many people there, Brown, and I know how to maneuver in crowds. Like I know to walk fast. How crowds can be bathrooms, but that stadium has so many plenty bathrooms. There's some lines going out, but you walk on another section and area. There's bathrooms to go. You know what I'm saying? So everything around that stadium, you would think it would be, oh, a big hassle, 80,000 people. I think there was more than 80,000 people. To be honest, if most of the seats that first night was filled, and then pretty much like 99% of that floor was full of people. It was the craziest thing I've ever. It was like a Woodstock, but indoors, bright guys. It was.
Nice.
I've never seen so many people. Obviously, I was like maybe 10, 11, 12 when I went to WrestleMania 17. So seeing that was huge, right? All these people. But when you're a child, you're shorter. So like a lot of people looks more like bigger. You know what I'm saying? It's different.
Right.
Nowadays, it really doesn't look like you would think AT&T Stadium, this big deal. Really, like it's big, but when you're in there, I don't know if it's design. Like every seat in there is great, guys. Just like this new, I think the newer ballparks are being built like this, like the Ranger Stadium. I mean, every seat in there is decent and great, and it seems a lot bigger on TV. Like again, I don't know about other football stadiums, but really when I walked in and I see the towers and I see all the screens the Metallica set up, and it's like right there by, I mean, I was like, what the hell? This is a huge stage setup. It's either a huge stage setup or the building is smaller inside than it looks outside. You know what I'm saying? It might be
Mm.
the type of deal, like, because I mean, again, if I even had nosebleed seats, those were really good seats too. Like everything, it was just a type of stadium, Brown, that every seat is a decent and good
Wow.
view. You know,
You got to give it up to the mighty Met, because they always seem to deliver when it comes to their stage sets. I mean, Metallica's been known to perform in the center of the arenas for many ages. They've been doing that since the
Yep.
I guess they've been doing that. I forgot which year they started it, but I think somewhere around the 1990s, if I'm correct. If it
And look,
isn't, correct me.
no, you're right about that. But not only the sound was great and the songs and everything, but and I don't know if this is, I could say this for other concerts, but when they start off with these huge songs, Creeping Death or Sad But True, or these huge Black Album songs, these mega Master of Puppets, these mega songs, the crowd reacts to pop, like we call the wrestling community.
Yep.
The pop is so loud, guys. People are yelling. People lose their shit, like in a good way, not
Because
negative. No
these are
one's fighting.
classics, man. These are absolute no doubt they were
I
when
just
they
never
did Master
experienced.
Puppet.
I can't say I experienced where everyone like just get. I mean, it's louder than these playoff hockey goals I experienced, like the crowd reaction. Like it's pretty much like that. Like if the Cowboys win the like everyone just goes nuts, and that's a whole nother thing too. Like taking that, there's a lot to take in, folks. For me, I was getting emotional. I was crying. I wasn't mad. I wasn't sad. It was just a lot to take in. I couldn't like. It's hard to explain. I don't know if I have. I mean, on the video, I was like, I don't know if I have autism because I'm crying during the concert. I don't know if it's just a joy. It was a joyful cry. Like I wasn't like tears running. I mean, it was like my eyes were tearing up, Brown. Like I was in a state of not shock because it wasn't a negative experience
It
at all.
was
It
an
was just
it was a joyous event that brought you to tears.
I just could not believe how great it sounded, how great, how the crowd was. Just like, it was just a lot. And again, I don't know if that's some type of autism thing or I don't know, because, like, I don't know. It was
You were
just
emotionally impacted by
very,
the show altogether.
very emotional, man.
Yes,
Very emotional.
and if I'm how
That's,
I can go ahead.
that's going to be tough to beat now. That's the only way that can be beat if, I don't know, because, like, that's why I can't compare it to, like, the Judas Priest thing with me and you, because we're actually inches away,
Yeah,
not only
from the band.
during the concert, after the show,
Yeah.
he was giving people autographs. We missed our chance on the auto, but we still
Yes.
got close personal experience.
Yep.
And that's you. I mean, I didn't get that with Metallica, so that's why I can't really. And plus, hanging out with you and everything, that's why I can't compare. They're not even in the same pond. Like, just overall, That's why I'm not even going to compare and put it against the Metallica thing because that's a whole nother deal, right?
That's
But the
right. Yeah,
Metallica,
exactly.
anyone that goes, anyone if Metallica comes here, I mean that was the greatest thing. And then seeing them twice, two different set lists, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much every song. I mean, I would like to hear one of the Unforgivens, right? I'd like to hear
Yeah.
uh, Memory Remains. I like to hear what's another one they want? They were, I mean, maybe even oh, here I am on the road again.
Turn the page.
I mean, even
The
like
Bob
that
Seger
cover.
cover.
But other than that, look, I'll read the second night. Whiplash, For Whom the Bell Tolls, second song. People went absolutely berserk. And either the roof was leaking on me, or people like when they got up and like someone spilled it, not spilled their beer on me, but like I just felt drips. Like I don't know if people were pumping their fist and had a beer in their hand, a couple rows behind me, and just I don't know, but
May have been that because
yeah, that's what it was. But the first song, Whiplash, then For Whom the Bell Tolls, Ride the Lightning for number 3, Dirty Window, which is from the Saint Anger album, I believe. Kind of a deep cut on that one.
yes.
Then they hit you with 72 Seasons of Darkness and the Sun. Number 7, Fade to Black. Number 8, You Must Burn. Number 9, The Call of Kaluhu. Number 10, No Leaf Clover, Dr. Brown. Can you believe
Nice.
that?
Yeah, did he have the orchestra backing track for that one? Because that you may remember that was on the first S&M album from 1999 when he
Yeah,
performed with the orchestra.
I didn't hear that one, but then the number 11 song, Wherever I May Roam. The number 12, Moth into Flame. Number 13, Battery. Number 14, Whiskey in the Jar. Number 15, One. And then they close the show at number 16, Inner Sandman. Now, that's a lot of songs, guys. And I can't really, I mean, obviously they, like for the New York show, for the Giant Stadium show, I think they did play The Memory Remains on that set list. But I don't think they played Battery. I don't know. Like they had a couple of these that they probably didn't play, obviously. So, I mean, obviously I would have traded in some of their new songs for some of their older ones, but it is what it is. You can't complain. $400, Metallica, 2 different nights,
Wow.
2 different sets. Can't really beat that. Cannot beat that. What else?
All right, there.
I mean, really, look, next time. I mean, I want to try and get on the damn floor. With a ticket there, obviously. People don't jump over barricades. Stupid.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
that'll get you booted out for shizzle.
There's definitely, a lot of people smoking pot in there. Found that pretty interesting.
No surprise.
A lot of Hispanics there. Shout out to Hispanic population. Being Metallica fans, I was surprised by that. Much like wrestling events, if you go to WWE events, a lot of Hispanic families there. Shout out to them. But greatest experience, Brown. All you got, like this is the type of thing to where, like, if they come and look, they haven't been here since 6 years. Obviously, the pandemic and everything, almost a half a decade. But this is the type of thing where if they come back or whatever, like, it's the type of thing where you travel to and go. I mean, it was I mean, there's no complaints, Brown. I can't complain about. There's 0 complaints. It was the greatest.
Nope. That's good to hear, man.
Unbelievable, Doctor. And everything's up on the channel. I mean, the 2 full concerts both days, and then the full Pantera set is all up on the Hockey Channel 360.
Yep, definitely. And also the sub to YR's channel just as well, folks.
Did you want to play that real quick? The Dimebag 2040 thing I sent you there. It's a couple.
Let me see if I hold on a second. Give me a couple minutes there. I don't know if we'll get struck from any copyright issues there, but
it's on my channel. I made it.
Okay, let me see. It's on your channel right now as we speak.
Yeah, I thought I sent you the link here. Look in the music channel link there.
Music channel. Let me see here. Let's see what we got here.
Music channel on Skype that you're in here. I put it in there.
All right, good.
But I'll send it to Skype too.
All right. Okay, I saw the Dimebag 2040 home video skit from the 1990s. That's from this convenience store.
Can you play it so you can hear it? Or
all right, the Dimebag thing.
Yes.
All right, there. I'll play it right now.
this kind of car. Definitely a large car. Tell us exactly what's been going on out here.
You see what he's doing down
Yes.
there?
Yeah, he's like dressed up he's got a bandana, some sort of glasses on.
Yeah, the gas station's like 2 minutes from the gas station.
He's like in a disguise in a way.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I would say it's like 19, 91, 92. I mean,
Ah.
so like 4. It's not too early in the 90s because we were still thin, but I was
Mhm.
probably like 93, 94. Gas was in 19.
Yeah, I see the car there, the busted front window there. Busted windshield, I should say.
Every time we turn around, there's some burned up car just sitting out in front of some man's store, or you never know what you might see. Really? I'm living in Parker County. Oh, so you drive all the way from Parker County to come to Arlington? Correct. Is the business better here than Parker County? Oh, yeah, sure. You see, I got a good job over here. I'm working my 15 hours a day. He's putting in 15 hours a day, busting his ass, ladies and gentlemen, out here. Right out in front of Kenny's, Arlington, Texas, 2040, up the shoe productions. I'm going to leave you on this note. Sir, I really hope, sincerely, somebody takes care of this pile of shit. Guys.
Yeah, that was interesting there. Very, very interesting. And that place where he had filmed it is still there.
Yeah, there's more.
Okay, I'll play it. Okay, let me do so.
Get out of the car. Unbelievable.
All right.
Guys leaving. We're at Kenny's right now. Look at that.
Huh?
When was that video made, you think? Like 90?
Yeah, you're showing this as Kinney's place that they filmed that spot at.
And it's still there
This is
today,
Kenny's,
though.
obviously it changed. They got newer gas pumps. And the gas prices have changed. Back then it was like $1.
Yeah, it was, sadly. It's not like that today,
like
folks.
Houses over here, those aren't here anymore. Is that what that is right there? Yeah. See that wall? This was all white and stuff. But this is Kenny's in Arlington. Dimebag did come here and do some skits and bits with people. We're in Arlington right now. We're going to the big show tonight. Pantera, Metallica, and a couple monuments. And a couple monuments. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. You with your
we're gonna go to the
pre-shirt
great
on, that
sightseeing.
bandana.
But this is the real kitchen the Dimebag was at. And we'll check out with y'all later. Recipes Dimebag. Wow.
Yeah,
Like, there's a lot of businesses that, like, are still there. There's a lot of businesses that are shut down, but because look, I was watching a lot of the Dime Vision stuff on YouTube, a lot of his home videos the night before.
Yes.
Like, there was stuff in, like, 1988 when, like, it was just Dime and Vinny. It was like a 3-piece band, and Dime was singing. And they were doing fucking Metallica songs.
Yeah.
Watching that a day before this big Metallica. I mean, that was pretty cool. But then that skit came up, and he said Kenny's in Arlington, so I looked it up, and it's still there. We get there, and, bro, Dr. Brown, you walk in. It's like any other old Indian food store, just hole in the wall. Because, you're used to going to, like, a clean 7-Eleven or just, like, your old school type hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Indian stores.
What part of Arlington is that in?
That was off. Actually, let me look it up.
I've never been to the
Okay.
Arlington, Dallas area, so I would not know.
Well, I lived in Arlington for a while, so.
Maybe the south part. Let me
Oh,
look
wow.
up. South Cooper Street.
Oh, gosh. I didn't live very far from there myself.
Well,
For a while.
away from that gas station is where Dimebag grew up. The house is still there.
Nice.
The family
Wow.
sold it. The Abbott family sold it. But I mean, I was thinking about that at the time, or else I would have gone by and visited that. But it looks like just a regular old house that's been there since the '60s. Not older. But yeah, this place is Yeah, South Arlington, or yeah, it's
Yeah.
like south of Six Flags and all that.
Oh,
It
very
says
interesting.
it says it's Arlington on the map.
Because Six Flags is right off 30.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
probably 15 minutes away from Six Flags area there. I mean, it's definitely an older, definitely driving
probably
in.
closer to 20.
Yeah, in
And
between 30
Art,
and
you
20.
live by Arlington, Dallas, correct?
Yeah, I lived in Darlington for a while, just off of Collins.
All right, so you're by Dallas or Fort Worth, I guess. What are those two areas currently?
Well, I'm south of Fort Worth.
Oh, because it would have been nice if YR and you were to meet up sometime, and
Hello?
you could get it on
Well, we
your channel.
discussed that. Yeah, we discussed that actually. So
Nice.
it's a possibility.
Yeah. All right, so definitely
Well,
go ahead.
but yeah, what do you think about that, Elder Brown? Did you have any questions?
Well, I mean, I will say, one thing I was always wondering. Now, the Pantera name, I guess it's owned. Is it owned by the Abbott estate or Abbott family? If I'm correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So, now is Phil on good terms with the Abbotts? Because I
I
know there was a lot of beef, but it's still beef between Vinny and Phil.
Well, I think what went on is at the end of well, look, because we can all look at it's two things. Obviously money was involved here. A lot of people got a lot of money, got millions.
Oh yeah.
All of those guys. I don't know if Charlie or Zach got it even probably so right, paying touring, but definitely the Abbott family. Dime's wife there. Definitely got a big payoff, probably the biggest payday they have ever gotten. I think.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
because
the old crew for Pantera, like the roadies, and they still use a lot of those people still, and they're touring. I mean, Pantera never played. Did they do headlining shows back in the day at these pavilions like Cynthia Woods and all that?
I'm not too sure, but I believe that I
Big?
remember did a headlining show at Pine Knot back in 1992, and as I mentioned at one time that Vinny and Dime showed up at the Ritz of Roseville when I was there. They hung around, checked out the scene, and played some pool together with all the crowds of people all around them, viewing them play this pool
They
game.
probably don't European, this big European festival as the original band, but like
Hmm.
I'm thinking now they're getting so much. You know what I'm saying? This money, and everyone wanted to see them, and it's not the negative because the last memory you have Pantera is the death of the brothers. But
Yeah.
now, if you've seen this concert and everything, I mean, it was great. It
Yeah,
sounded
exactly. Yes. In fact, if it's for this people saying, "Oh, it's a Pantera tribute band," or as you said, Pantera 2.0, it's basically a celebration of what Vinny and Daryl started back in the early '80s. They started Pantera. They were ones who got that. They get their foots in the door and getting everything going there with their original singer Terry Glaze, Rex Brown, or Rex Rocker as he was known originally. And let's not forget, of course, Phil joining in after Terry leaves. The legacy that they've carved out, back in Dallas in the beginning, up to nationwide with the albums like Cowboys from Hell, Vulgar Display of Power, and they it's good to see Phil back in stride with his vocals up to par like it was back in the day. It's also good to see Phil performing once again. Now, keep this in mind. Phil doesn't wander around or doesn't thrust his back out because you may remember he had a lot of surgeries in his back. In fact, it was
Did you see any of those videos? He doesn't wear shoes. He's barefoot up there.
I
on
noticed,
stage.
yeah, I know. It was a couple during those South American shows. He was like just wearing the old shoes, but I guess he started doing those shows barefoot. I guess he's probably one of those guys that, oh fuck it, I just get on stage and do what the heck I want. Get out there, let's get down to business. And so wondering, Phil doesn't use a cordless microphone. I notice. He uses a microphone with a cord attached to it. And usually, when you have a stage set up like it is, you have to remain at certain positions because of the cord
His
length, if I'm
box,
correct.
his had like a wire, but it's connected to like this box that he kept in his pocket.
I see.
I don't know why he wouldn't use a wireless mic and have that, but it must just be, I don't know, it's what he likes or something. But
Maybe so. Who knows?
But
I'll tell you what, that damn Wolfgang, that damn Mammoth, you know,
Mammoth WVH.
they're a newer band. I don't know any of the songs or anything, so it's that type of thing where you're watching a band, you don't know the songs, but I mean, they sounded great. His vocals were great. Everything's live, obviously.
That's good, yeah.
But I think the Five Finger Death Punch group, they really were good. I'm not gonna lie, they were really, obviously they were not no Pantera because they were the group opening on Sunday and Pantera opened on Friday. So imagine that, right?
Yeah.
Just imagine being in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium and Pantera, this tribute thing. I don't even want to call it a tribute because it is real members in there. But this new 2.0 Pantera is playing in Dallas Cowboys Stadium and hearing all those songs and hearing that signature Vinnie Paul kick drum.
Yep.
That same sound, bro.
And
'Cause
Zach, channeling Dimebag through his fingertips.
Charlie Banana, he talked about he's like he's worked with his drum techs, Vinnie Paul's drum techs and everything to get that exact sound and just to get it he really kicked ass. I mean, I can't even. Obviously, Zach Wild did his thing and everything, but that show alone was worth it all, to be honest. But like, I wasn't expecting how Metallica did their thing. I mean, they are the number one band for a reason.
They are.
They
Remember Lon E. Friend, the editor and head of Rip magazine from back in the day? He has pretty much summed it up. Metallica are the Led Zeppelin of this generation. Because you remember, Zeppelin was playing massive stadiums back in the 70s up until their demise in 1980. And so did Pink Floyd just as well in the 70s. Oh, they continued to do stadium tours after without Roger Waters.
Now, if Skinny Puppy, as their tour shirts, they're $45, which that's the usual average price, Brown. That's how much they were at Priest. That's how much they were at Smashing Pumpkins. Ace Frehley was taxing. He was trying to do like $55 on his, and there were no dates on the back.
Oh,
I wasn't going for that at all.
I mean,
But
they'd most likely probably be 35 or 55.
Would you do
No, go
would
ahead.
you do a Skinny Puppy tour shirt for the 45?
If it costed that, because merchandise. One of the reasons why
For Joe Biden.
I just might, because it'll be the last tour they ever do. They're called it quits afterwards.
I'll throw half on that for you.
All right,
you
thank
that.
you. Hopefully, but like I said, we got a long way before we do any of the planning because the show, as I stated, is in November, which will be a couple months from now. So I got plenty of time to get things in gear, in full stride.
Drive here. Just drive from Florida.
Yeah, but I don't want to. Well, Michelle doesn't want to go through all the long hassle drive that we did getting from Texas to Florida because it took about 2 days. And
Y'all drive slow. All y'all gotta do is drive halfway, go to Mississippi or Alabama and get a hotel.
Yeah.
And go back,
Actually, we did that in when we was in Louisiana. We were not far from New Orleans. But, we just spend the night in one of the motels over there. We went through Mississippi the next day like gangbusters, like a long, it wasn't really that long of a distance, but it was, I was very surprised that towards the middle, we were like, welcome to Florida, said the GPS lady. I was like, oh wow, that was quick. Mississippi was pretty quick.
Bottom of Mississippi. Yeah, the bottom of Mississippi that you drive through is a little bitty feller.
It is,
Right.
yes.
Go through Biloxi, Gulfport, and you're there.
Interesting sights there as well.
Something about the stadium. We'll quick because I wanted to bring this up last week too.
Mm-hmm.
In these stadiums, they have these newer metal detectors, which they look like these skinny poles instead of these like big box things you walk through.
Hmm.
But basically, what it is it's like there's an AI aspect to it, to where it like the lines are way shorter now. Like a lot of these shows you go to now,
Yeah.
you walk through, you don't have, or you take everything out of your pocket, you have to take your cell phone out. These
Yeah.
new things only detect like the certain things that you don't bring into stadiums. They're using AI in like a wave, almost like a signal wave format, to where you don't, because that is a waste of time. They know everyone has a
Yeah,
cell
that
phone.
is true there. Like, you got long lines of people there, and like, waiting, come on, hurry up, let's go. And you got these
Right?
metal detectors.
Right. Especially being hot, like you just walk right through. So,
Hmm.
like the days of going to concerts early, which is fine, I'm fine with that. But you don't really, like the first day they didn't open the doors till 4. We got there at like 11,
Oh,
um, super early. But the Sunday we got there right, at 4 or so, and we had to pay the extra park because parking spaces weren't. They were getting fuller, obviously, by that time. But it was a $55 parking fee there.
mm.
But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? When you split it with someone, it's not that bad. But I gotta tell y'all something, guys.
Yeah.
Greatest. I mean, obviously, y'all seeing a lot of these groups back in the day overpowers all this, I believe, right? But Metallica really is the greatest band ever. I mean, right
Yes.
now, and still touring, and the number one live band, and just they bring their own shit in the speaker, like it's just the Metallica machine, guys.
Yep.
I mean, it's huge. They really are. I mean,
They continue to amaze each and every one of us. Period.
it was insane. It was
That's
crazy.
right.
But listen, real quick, can we give a shout out to Terry Funk, guys?
Yes, definitely. We got to talk about him. Wrestling legend Terry Funk. I already uploaded a video before I went out. Actually, I filmed the video before I headed out to the grocery store. And I finally uploaded it on the way back. Terry Funk, Texas wrestling legend who worked at the WWF, the Territory Days, including part of Detroit, WCW for a short while, ECW. He passed away earlier today at 79 years old. He was like one of the prime Texas legends in pro wrestling history. He also did some stints in Japan just as well. And I guess, what's he's going through some dementia prior to his passing? For I understand, that's one report that I remember reading a long while back. Or do you not know?
No, no.
I don't know either. But then again, and the reason I bring that up is because, a lot of pro wrestlers like Jimmy Superfly Snuka, they were suffering from dementia because of all the bumps they take on the head. Perry Saturn, who was involved with the Radicals and that was briefly in the WWF before he got let go, he was going through a lot of dementia issues himself there.
Metallica, they play a lot at that Hard Rock Live place in Florida, Brown.
Nice.
More intimate venue type thing, but definitely next time they come around, Brown.
Hmm.
Um,
Go check him out.
oh yeah, it will surpass Maiden concert when you saw anything you ever saw. I guarantee it. I mean, it was just so incredible.
I'm hoping Pantera will open up for this gig. I guess it's supposed to be in Miami. I checked it a long while back while he was speaking there.
Let me
And
see if
Miami's a 4-hour drive from where we're at, by the way.
and look, I'm still enthusiastic with Pantera thing. I mean, that's definitely a big one as well to go see. To be honest, but let me look at they're doing a lot of West Coast stuff.
Mm.
So they're gonna be in Oklahoma, Bangor, Michigan. They're gonna be West Coast, and in September, a little of the East Coast stuff. Missouri, Detroit, Ford Field, guys.
Oh yeah, Fort Field in Detroit. Yeah.
Michigan.
where SummerSlam was recently held a couple weeks ago.
Dang, they're not doing any Florida shows. Maybe they already went there. I
Maybe
don't know.
so. I got to check again there. If they did, it
Now
must have been in Miami.
the question is this it for like this version of Pantera, or are they going to keep doing this after 2024? I don't know, or they're just going to do this
If
big
there's,
run.
I guess they'll probably be doing it because right now the demand to see Pantera live is skyrocketing. Because finally, kids who've only heard the music and heard about the band are now discovering this band for the first time now in terms of live
Even
performances.
Phil Insomnio solo shows with like him and the Illegals, or when he did
Down,
Down recently within the past 5 years, like, and then like in the past couple of years he started doing Pantera songs, and with the solo shows, I mean, people still hit those. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like the demand was there, but adding, I think. I mean, we can talk. I mean, what do you think about Charlie Benani on drums like that? I mean,
Well,
and,
he's a
and
damn well. Give Charlie Benetti his due because he's a kick-ass drummer. Remember, he's a. Obviously, he learned his skills very well, and of course, obviously, Zach Wild learned his skills damn well. He channeled Zach in terms of playing guitar and all that. He probably got a hold of Zach's guitar tech, to make sure he channels him correctly. And let's not forget,
I'll say this: it's definitely the tone is Zach Wild's tone. It's
yep,
not Dimebag's tone. It's not. He's not doing the Dimebag squeal. He does a couple of squeals, but he's still running through. The Wild brand speakers, I believe,
yes,
because Wild has his own guitars and speakers and
oh
everything.
yeah,
But I mean, that would be my only. But then you can look at it and say it's Zach Wild doing his thing, and that's his tone. You're not going to have Eddie Van Halen cover a song, and you're not going to. It's not going to sound like Eddie. No, each guitarists have their tones, and that's respectable. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there's tribute bands that can get that dime tone and every. You know what I'm saying? They could
yes,
have gone that route, and it's easy to do that. But Wild was using his Wild brand guitars,
mm-hmm,
and he was. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
But when you're there, that just what stands out the loudest was Phil's voice was great, and it was
yeah,
loud, and then the kick drum, that bass drum sound was huge. You could still hear the guitar, but those two were overpowering the guitar, and that's how a lot of opening acts are. I mean, especially in the
yes,
stadium. Like Metallica really had their sound just pristine, because in the stadium it gets echoey.
mm-hmm,
I mean, it's a big football
yes,
stadium, it's echoey. So, yeah, you can definitely the Pantera show and the opening bands. It was a little echoey, but when you know the song and you know the words, all that shit goes out the window. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole. I mean, for me to be crying at, and this isn't me trying to get sympathy. I couldn't help not. I mean, not tears running down my face, but
mm-hmm,
like definitely the eyes watering up, and just like I had to take a couple deep breaths. Like, holy shit,
yeah.
this is
By
one of
the
my nights.
way, speaking of both bands, you may remember I did a simulcast with Real as Fuck TV a couple years back in 2020. The thumbnail for that show was Rex Brown and Dime, then known as Diamond Daryl, with
Yeah.
James and Lars. Those two know each other pretty much. Both bands, I should say, there, by the way.
It's
It really
time.
is good stuff, guys. But
All
it's
right.
time to the Capitol Records, Columbia Records,
Mm-hmm.
Casablanca. Um, but any last questions, guys? I mean, I don't even think. Again, y'all saw a lot of the groups. Your Black Sabbath. Y'all saw. I don't know if y'all saw the Van Halens of the day,
I did.
but I think if y'all
Oh,
would have saw this, what I saw this weekend, it would have blown y'all's heads off. I really
Uh,
think, I really think y'all would have. Like, I know y'all seen a lot, but for me not to shut the fuck up about it, I mean, it takes a lot for me to not shut the fuck. I mean, it was really. Oh my god! I recorded everything. That's the most coolest thing too. So,
it is, yes.
but videos really just don't do it justice. Like, yeah, the sound's there. You can hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, but just being there and watching something on video is two different things. It really is. I mean, the electricity when
The
you're, you know what I'm saying.
intensity.
But what was your favorite record company? Casablanca, Columbia. Did you like?
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, what?
There was two record companies I was infatuated for. One of them was Bronze Records, based out of UK, which had Motorhead, Girls School. For a while, they had this project called Phenomena, and they also had, of course, Uriah Heep just as well there. That was their UK-based label there. I remember getting me of purchasing a couple of Bronze products, like the single for "Killed by Death," which is import from, of course, UK there. I also had a my other record label favorite was Wax Trax Records, which provided a lot of industrial music like early Ministry, Revolting Cocks, some of Al Jorgensen's side projects there. He also had Meat Beat Manifesto, and he also had they had a lot of good industrial on their roster. He even had a project from Skinny Puppy called Dowdy Thomas, one album called The Infidel, which I got in 1991. Pretty much. And we also cannot forget Network Records, which was started by one of the bands called Mauve, which is spelled Moev. Mauve was one of the artists that recorded on that label. In fact, you may remember the song Crucify Me that was played at some of the clubs back in the day. They had Skinny Puppy, The Tear Garden, The Grapes of Wrath, electronic group out of Australia called Severed Heads. They had a few good people. Even had Sarah McLachlan. Her first record, Touch, was released on that album before Arista Records picked that record up and released it on their own. So, those are the two main record labels. Those are actually, excuse me, the three main record labels I was into around the 1990s there. Plus, we got to give it up to Warner Brothers Records for having Van Halen, Black Sabbath. They also had other great artists, like you had Fleetwood Mac. You also had this one group I forgot the name of, but it was I'm not too sure, but it was a lot more lighter sound. Oh, we cannot forget the Doobie Brothers. They were onto that record label for many years. I meant to say. They also had James Taylor. So shout out to Warner Brothers. Well, basically, it's now called Warner Records. They shortened the name to that, and they've been reissuing a lot of their catalogs under that name there, the new one they got. And, Art, you want to say something?
Capital Columbia Reprise.
All right. Reprise, which, by the way, is a distribution of, which, by the way, was a kind of like an offshoot of Warner Brothers. Reprise had Fleetwood Mac originally before they moved up to Warner Brothers. Of course, they had the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Those albums were released on that label during that time, up until
The Kinks.
The Kinks as well. Yep.
Capital, of course, had the Beatles and the Beach Boys.
Absolutely. Yeah, Capital. Well, Capital, I guess they're now distributed by UMI, which is Universal Music International. I don't know what happened to EMI, if that's still functioning or any of that, but EMI, which I guess is originally based out of the UK, they were distributing, Capital, Harvest Records. They had a distribution towards Tower Records, which originally released the More soundtrack from Pink Floyd. I remember seeing a copy of that at some record store by St. Clair, Michigan.
Is there anybody in there? We can hear them. Is there anybody at home?
Mm-hmm.
That
And
song.
of course, you had the artist labels like Swan Song.
Yep, it's by Led Zeppelin. Apple by the Beatles, which was a big fiasco in its own self.
Does it have anything to do with the Apple computers and phones?
No.
I don't know. This was all separate. There were no
That's
computers back then.
interesting. That is interesting, though, right?
In fact, I
True.
guess, yeah. And by the way, Apple Records had other artists on their roster, like Nicky Hopkins. You also had the
Badfinger.
Badfinger, as well as their very first James Taylor album, believe it or not. I guess somewhere in the 1990s, Capitol decided to get a hold of these recordings of all the albums and decided to reissue them all as on compact disc, including the first James Taylor album.
And of course, you got Rhino Records,
Yeah, which when they first
king of
started,
the reissuers.
yeah, they were. In fact, they reissued a lot of things. Like one of the albums, the only records I got from them was colored vinyl of Classy Freddie Blassie. I just saw it, and I think, let me try this out. I'm not too sure when these recordings were made, but you heard a lot of phrases like pencil neck geek on that record there. He doesn't really sing, but he talks kind of like rapping away over these country
Right.
songs there. You got to look him up on YouTube, which I'm going to possibly do later on this evening to see for yourself.
And-
And this,
Then you got Fantasy Records, Credence.
yep, which I guess is still together, which is still functioning. I guess John Fogerty, he re-signed it with that label when doing his solo material. I guess the guy who runs Fantasy now had some different ideas. I guess he was a lot more better person to work with when it comes to working with John Fogerty. And I guess it's I understand. Does Fogerty now receive full copyright of his material?
Yes.
Good, because
Well, I know that
Then
he,
you got Elektra,
mhm.
Doors.
he still
Yep.
sings that music.
And Mark just said Elektra, which, by the way, Motley Crue was originally signed on to. Too Fast for Love, Shout at the Devil, Dr. Feelgood, Theater of Pain, Girls, 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 were on that label there. Of course, Motley now has their record label, Motley Records.
Here's,
And,
he, he's the one they call Dr. Brownwood. He's the one that make it feel all right. He's the one they call Dr. Brownwood.
That's right. Oh, let's not forget,
And then
Metallica
the
was on
Stones.
Elektra.
And the Stones have their own label, but I forgot what it was.
It was called Rolling Stones Records, and it tongue, I guess they got it from some sort of a painting or a statue of some dragon, for I understand.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't know if that's still around. I think I'm not too sure when the Stones released their last studio record. The one I remember seeing was called A Bigger Bang, and that was about in 2005. And I'm not too sure, but I know a lot of their albums that were released on that label was reissued on Virgin Records a couple years back. They're in these specific packaging that they had. All right.
Well, Ortiz and Santana.
Ortiz and Santana.
AEW.
Okay, you're watching AEW. Nice. Now, we also cannot forget the other half of Elektra Records, Asylum Records, which had Jackson Browne, the Eagles, Linda Ronstadt. I guess it came back in the early 2000s as a rap label, from what I understand, with a different logo. And I guess, oh yeah, did I mention Jackson Browne? He was on that roster? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's time for us to go.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I was hoping to stay on
Yes.
to the second. That's right, it is. We did about almost close to, well, not necessarily close to it, but... Mhm.
Special edition tonight, guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty big. But tomorrow, did you want to do wrestling tomorrow? Did you
Yes,
want
let's do some WrestleManiacs. I've been waiting to do this episode.
do,
I'm gonna take.
they
I
were
wanna-
hardcore people or Harry
No, I
Punk,
was
or-
gonna take a. I had a subject of mine: wrestlers who had to turn heel in order to get over. And that's happened a lot of times, whether it's a Honky Tonk Man or Dominique Mysterio.
Would y'all rather do that or do a whole show about Terry Funk?
We could definitely talk about Terry Funk. Let's do
Oh,
both.
you have to
Let's
have.
definitely do both for Shizzle. Because you may remember in the WWF during his time there, he was like considered one of the most despicable heels by the fans and the promoters.
Wow.
Yes, he was. That was according to one of the announcers, Gorilla Monsoon, of course. Of course, he was probably a cool guy underneath all that, but then again, definitely got to do that. That's for sure. A tribute to Terry Funk tomorrow night, as well as look at wrestlers who had to turn bad guys in order to get themselves over. Sometimes it's suggested as by the wrestlers themselves or by the promoters. So definitely got to for sure do that. All right, so are we on for that, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I know. Now I apologize. We wasn't able to get to the second subject, but like I said, we were out of time. So probably next Wednesday we'll continue our discussion on various record labels and the majors, the independents, one that used to exist or somewhat exists now. So how about we do that next Wednesday?
Thank you.
Okay, good. All right. I guess it means a yes. All
Yeah.
right, so tomorrow night, WrestleManiacs airs on the Dr. Earl channel. Subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, the notification bell, as well as subscribe to YR's channel, Hockey Channel 360, to get all that good Pantera and Metallica clips that he had filmed, including the full concerts. And also, let me plug Arknoia's Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Arknoia. You get buttloads of content on there, ranging from every topic out there except for politics, which is a good thing because I'm up to here with it myself. All right, so we will see you tomorrow night for WrestleManiacs, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, for YR and Arknoia and myself. We'll see you tomorrow evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, brothers.
Thank you as well, dudes.